Contax Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, that is a live look at our camera over Springfield on this Friday night on the Roofing Doug at Flooring America camera. The sun has set, and it's been another nice end to the week. As we take a look at what's happening with the satellite and radar picture tonight, you're going to see that lots of sunshine, clearing skies across the area, and temperatures today that made it to near 50 in some areas. Yeah, it was nice on this Friday. But now we're cooling back down, 38 in Champaign, 42 in Springfield. And as we go throughout the rest of tonight, we'll see temperatures hovering back down into those low 30s to the upper 20s. But an okay weekend is ahead, a little cooler. We'll talk about that and when we may actually see a little bit of precipitation in the forecast. So stay tuned. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
A man's facing charges after leading police on a high-speed chase. How they say a traffic stop turned violent. Plus, we told you about a teenager who was killed in a car crash this week. How the community is mourning her loss.
And also tonight, a sheriff's office says it has good news for taxpayers. How it's been able to bring in more money without your dollars.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
The concerning thing about what was inside the vehicle is there was a lot of firepower.
That's one of the reasons a man is behind bars tonight. He led deputies on a chase and shot at them. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. This happened around midnight. It started on Route 45. We're going to show it to you right here. This is near Thomasboro, and it ended all the way down here in Champaign at Olympian and Boardwalk Drive. Lewis is facing weapons charges along with attempted murder. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live now for us at the scene. So, Courtney, it was a scary night for deputies.
It absolutely had to be, Jennifer, and deputies say that Lewis fired 4 rounds at them, but luckily no one was hit, and they also couldn't find any evidence that the vehicle they were driving was hit with gunfire. But Lewis was in court this afternoon to be arraigned for what happened overnight. He is facing gun charges as well as attempted murder. Police also recovered 3 guns from the scene, including a gun with a drum magazine that can hold around 50 to 100 rounds. Investigators say that's well above what anyone should have.
When you have that amount of firepower within a vehicle, you're probably up to no good. You're probably going to go somewhere and shoot something up, that is not a defense amount of ammunition and stuff. That is an attack amount of ammunition.
Lewis already has 2 pending gun cases and has a criminal history dating back to 2010. That's for a mixture of gun and drug-related charges, as well as several charges of domestic battery. I also talked to this morning several people who were living near this location where things ended up, where the crash happened, and they said that they saw police lights. They also heard squealing tires, but of course they were okay. They didn't hear those gunshots because those happened near Thomasboro. For reporting live, I'm Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thank you so much for that. Now, Lewis is facing up to 90 years behind bars if convicted. The state's attorney's office asked him to have a $10 million bond because of his previous charges. They say that's because he was a flight risk, but a judge kept it at $1 million.
Students in St. Joseph are mourning the loss of a classmate who died in a car crash. Happened near the intersection of 2200 East and County Road 1850 North on Wednesday. 17-year-old Nadira Edwards died yesterday. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays is live in the newsroom tonight. Jamie, you spoke to the principal. How's everyone handling this tonight?
Paul, the principal says they are offering support for students and staff, and due to restrictions at school, it's been hard to start the grieving process. The sheriff's office says Edwards stopped at a stop sign, then went through the intersection. A dump truck couldn't stop in time and hit the car. The 2 people in the truck weren't hurt. Edwards died. She was a senior at St. Joseph Ogden High School. The principal says they only have half of their kids at school on any given day, so in times like this, that's tough.
We only have about half of our kids here on a given day. With that, we can't all be together face to face and have the conversations and really be able to wrap our arms around each other and truly begin that grieving process like we're used to as human beings.
Deputies are investigating that crash. The principal says they have social workers at school. They plan to have therapy dogs and are trying to do everything they can to let students know they have support. Live in the newsroom, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Jamie, thanks. In other news, a man from Decatur is dead after a crash in Piatt County happened last night at 9:45 west of Monticello on I-72. State police say the 42-year-old was going west when his car went off the road and flipped. He was taken to the hospital where he died. His name has not been released. Investigators are trying to figure out the cause of a fire in Ridge Farm. It happened at North and State Street early this morning. The home was in flames when crews arrived. Neighbors say they were working on the fire for about a half an hour. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
The Macon County Sheriff's Office says they have made improvements to provide better service to the community. The sheriff says since the 2019 fiscal year, they've added more than $1 million to the county's general fund. That's helped reduce the deficit. Through a grant, they were able to buy more equipment for deputies, such as new vests and weapons. The sheriff says those purchases were made without taxpayer dollars.
To let them know that we're being fiscally responsible. We're not just looking at it because it's taxpayers' dollars. We could just go and just spend. We have to, be responsible for what we do.
They're also putting in more effort to improve the staff through training and community relationships. The city of Champaign is being recognized for its inclusivity. It got the second highest score in the state on the Human Rights Campaign's Municipality Equality Index. This measures how inclusive the city's laws, policies, and services are for the LGBTQ community. Champaign's score was 84, up from last year. The index analyzed more than 500 cities, including 9 in Illinois. The national average was 64.
A committee's debating whether to change the name of a hall at EIU, but now it may change what the charge should be. The group is discussing the name of Douglas Hall. Stephen Douglas was a slave owner. However, the building sits adjacent to Lincoln Hall, and the two were named to commemorate the Lincoln-Douglas debates that took place in Charleston. Now the university president's asking the committee to also decide if the hall should still commemorate those debates or be named for something else.
So do you have a birthday or anniversary coming up? How a theater says it can help you mark the occasion.
Plus this.
Tried to strike that sweet spot.
Congress still can't agree on a new wave of COVID relief. One lawmaker says the bill he helped put together is a good compromise.